Hey guys, KOMK, KOMK. Thanks for checking it out. Today I want to talk about the power of teaching others. It's pretty powerful. It really, really is. And I'm not talking about you become a teacher and you go to work in a school or anything like that. That's a whole nother thing. That's also, great and everything. But just teaching other people something. And I don't mean, you try to teach somebody, how to how to get out of the subway or the bus properly because they're in your way or something like that, and like a frustrated moment of teaching your barista to make that that frappuccino quicker. I don't mean like that. I mean actually teaching something. If you notice on the site, on the channel, stuff like that, I have this expression, learn it, know it. And that's my thing is just that, I think you try to learn something and then you know it and then it carries you on in life. But there's also a thing about learn it, teach it. And that's powerful because once you learn something and you feel like you know something about anything, I think it's important to teach that to someone else. Of course, obviously, the audience needs to be receptive of it, and they need to want to learn what it is that you're teaching them or have to offer them. But being able to share what you have learned also helps you to learn it more deeply, to understand the concept of it better. A lot of times is that when we learn something and we go to teach it, it's actually a very good study tool for us to also understand that topic or that subject better. And then we also make adjustments in how we understand it and learn more about it as well. You never know, even though you're trying to teach somebody something maybe for the first time, they may still draw questions to what you're teaching that makes you learn more because you have to now address those questions. And then maybe you don't have the answer and you have to come back and you have to go and research a little bit more and understand the topic better so that you can therefore answer those questions later or come back and help that person. So one thing that's important is you need to also learn how to teach people. Just because you know something, and you can be very, very good at something. We see this a lot, especially in sports or say, jiu-jitsu. I always bring a lot of things back to jiu-jitsu, is that even though somebody could be very, very highly skilled at something, it doesn't mean they're good at teaching it. And so, teaching it by itself is a craft. It's something that needs to be honed. You really need to kind of build your craft into being a good teacher, because some people, just the way that they talk about things, the way that they explain things may not be that good. I'm not saying that I'm a great teacher, but I enjoy learning to be a good teacher. I'm going after always evolving my craft as a teacher. I am a professional teacher, and that's what I do as a career. So I'm also looking at it from that perspective as well. But even just teaching somebody something small, how you're teaching your child, or you're teaching somebody how to cook something, or something that you know how to do very well, you have to really know how to teach them and understand that they don't know as much as you do about that particular subject or thing that you're trying to teach them. And so, a big thing is to not, belittle them, not to make them feel like they're stupid or they don't know anything because they don't know anything. But you don't want to make them feel that. You want to kind of feed into their curiosity. That is a really huge thing, is that when you have somebody that wants to learn something, you feed into that. You use words and you use your way to explain something to someone that makes them want to learn it more. Because now then you have somebody that you can always go to and say, hey, I learned this and let me teach you this, or what do you think about this? And you start to, then it's more of a cooperative thing, because you're able to see that that person wants to learn. So learning how to teach people is just as important as teaching them. A big part of also knowing and learning how to teach people is learning to deal with different personalities, especially if you're teaching a group of people and over time teaching more and more people. Not everyone is going to be the same type of learner. Not talking about their mental state, their cognition of learning, but just their personality for learning. Some students that you're teaching, or some people that you're teaching, they may ask a lot of questions. They may see things in one way of how you're teaching it, where another person that you're using the same technique to teach them, they don't get it, and they constantly are a very difficult person maybe to teach, and it could just be, and there's a lot of factors that could fall into why they're difficult to teach. But nevertheless, you need to deal with working with different people's personalities, and that's the uniqueness of it, and that's why teaching is a craft. And that's why the importance of teaching others is really important. It's really a lot to really dig into. And you have to think about that in terms of some teachers you may have had in the past. They just may not have been very, very well equipped with learning how to deal with different personalities. They had one way of teaching it, and they taught it like this, no matter what your learning style was or is, no matter what your personality was or is, they just taught it the same way. People fall off. People don't grab the concept. People don't learn what that person is trying to teach. So for you to teach others, you have to understand people's personalities are different. And you have to cater how you teach different things to cater to their personality. Now, obviously, in a group setting, you can't do that for every single person every time, or else you won't get through teaching anything. No matter what your allotted time is, whether you have an hour to teach it, whether it's a friend of yours, your neighbor, and you're teaching them, a way to cut the yard or whatever it may be. You don't want to spend, long period of time unless you have absolutely nothing to do. And you want to be able to get through the message you're trying to teach efficiently. All right. So, but you still have to just keep in mind that, different people have different personalities, and you're going to have to adjust your teaching style and build your craft a little bit, even for just helping somebody learn something that you know, some knowledge that you possess that you're trying to pass down on someone else. Understand their personality. Think about different ways to say it, and have patience. Very, very important. Patience. And the last thing to think about that goes along with those patience in a way is also kind of like that action speaks louder than words type phrase, is that you have to really show that you know what you're talking about. You can't fake it till you make it when you're trying to teach others, because especially nowadays, people are actually coming to the table no matter what it is that you're teaching them, even if they don't know anything about that particular subject or that thing that you're trying to teach them. People still have a lot more innate knowledge, I think. With the internet and lots of things they can search, they have basically, before, back in the day, if you wanted to learn about some obscure subjects or something like that, you had to go to the library, or maybe your house had a set of encyclopedias or something like that, and you could grab some side knowledge. But people, you click on that and it goes to this, the ways of using new media, and the way we live in a new media world where we're watching videos, we're reading this, and that link goes to here and there. People are coming to the table a little bit, maybe a little bit smarter than before. And so you can't fake it until you make it when it comes to teaching others something. So you have to know what you're talking about, and your actions need to speak louder than your words. You need to really show that you actually know about it. And again, I think the most important thing is that you have to have some sort of a passion to teach them. Again, as I mentioned before, it could be just your friend that you're showing them something. But you have to have the energy, the want, that energy to really teach someone and Show them that thing that you like. Show them the thing that you love. Show them your knowledge of that subject, no matter what it is. But the power of teaching others is a superpower. And I hope that all of you can learn it, build your craft, even if it's just for your child, learning how to teach your child without getting frustrated and flipping the table upside down or something like that. All right? The power of teaching others. Check it out. King of Montauk, KOMK, kingofmontauk.com. Peace.